the caregivers if they could put their feelings into words.
Well, I hope I can make a big difference to, because, you know, at the end of the day, when you go home and you just think, wow, like, sometimes it's even things that seem small to us that makes such a huge, huge difference to the patient and to their family. If they've been taking a medication that makes them upset their stomach and makes them throw up, and we can do something to somehow make that better, that's huge, huge for them.
There's a long list of feelings I feel when I look after families here. Joy is definitely one of them, and pride. I'm very proud of the work we do here. There's a part that's scared, and there's a part that's hopeful. There's some sadness.
If I could grant one wish to my patients, I have 985 children who would like to have diabetes cured tomorrow, for sure.
Mostly, I just feel incredibly privileged that I'm able to look after these children at their sickest times, and that parents trust me. They may not always feel like they trust me, but they do have to hand the care of their children over to me. And it's a really, really great honor.
That by some small way that what I've done has allowed them to live the life that they were meant to have, not a life where they feel different from other people, or they feel that they aren't able to go ahead and do what they really want to do.
So you guys having fun here? You guys are doing some pretty good art, actually. Look at this art. Pretty good stuff. Now, one of Children's Hospital's biggest fans is a really studly guy who has quite a few fans himself, singer Michael Bublé. Not only serves as the hospital's campaign ambassador, he also has made many private visits to the facility to say hi to patients and their families, and also see firsthand just why there's a need for a brand new children's hospital. On one recent occasion, he invited a global camera crew along to see what happened.
It's a tour of Children's Hospital Michael Bublé has taken before, into areas the healthy and fortunate rarely see. But since this is all our hospital, let's take the tour with him.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. I hope you get well soon. I'd like to come back and not see you here. How are you here? How long have you been here?
2 months.
Holy, that long? Have you got in and out? Or?
Yeah, I was out for 4 days.
Yeah.
And then I got a fever, and then I had to come
They
back.
brought you back in.
Sure.
Where are you from?
Victoria.
Oh, you're from Victoria. Home with Nellie Furtado and Gynecol and David Foster.
Apparently.
But you were really turned on by that. You're like, whatever.
Michael Bublé has made numerous visits to Children's Hospital, but his approach has changed. At first, he didn't really know what to say to the kids and their parents, so he decided to just be honest. Just be himself.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
No problem. If you notice when I talk to the kids, I don't pretend that it isn't happening. Because the kids are smarter than that. It's sort of, I don't want to take away their dignity and talk to them and say, and that's not what they want. You know, they're kids. They, you know, you're in the same way. Pretty good, pretty good. So look at the stuff we have to hold in the home. Yeah, I understand.
When Michael Bublé visits, he sees both what's great about Children's Hospital and what's not. Its most evident problem is a lack of space. The hospital is just not big enough.
But, you know, here's an example of just, well, we don't have the space in this hospital to move stuff out. A lot of equipment, a lot of disposables we have in the hospital, the IV sets and so forth, come in cardboard boxes. Now, the environmental services will come along and get rid of this, but this is not unusual that we find in the hallways of the hospital this. So imagine being the parent of a little child, of course, who's really sick. And this is the ward that you're going to. You're scared to death to begin with. But it doesn't exactly... Not to be disparaging, but it looks like a third world country hospital when you see garbage and all this. Yeah, it's kind of shocking to go to a hospital in this beautiful province of British Columbia, you know, this wealthy province, and to see garbage in the hallway, and to see these rooms where, like they were saying, they can't put a stretcher in the room because there's not enough room.
The space issues also get through the doors of the OR. New equipment that wasn't around when the hospital was built back in 1982 has turned this operating room into an obstacle course.
These are great machines, new technology. It was not anticipated. When this room was built for brain surgery, neurosurgery, none of these machines were even dreamt of. You know, the doctors are not bellowing it, or they're not. It's not like they're blowhards, and they care. They're here because they care about the kids, and and they've made it a personal responsibility to make the call and to tell people, and to I know that Jeff, the doctor that just took us through, off camera and stuff, he was saying that it's difficult for him. There's a pride thing. He doesn't want to have to look into a camera and to say, look, there's garbage sitting there, and help us out, but he feels a responsibility to do the right thing, and sometimes the right thing is not an easy decision to make. Every time I talk to kids about the families, and I ask them how their experiences are, they say that the staff and the doctors are the most beautiful, great people, and the most beautiful, I don't know, but beautiful, the sexiest doctors. Did they say that? They said sexist. They said that about me? They were tall, dark, and handsome. Me?
It's obvious Children's Hospital does incredible work. It's just that an updated facility would make their work that much greater.
You can see these families, when you ask them, they say that, they're thrilled with the dedication and the compassion and the technical abilities and all that. It's their family away from home. They obviously need help.
The breathing tube out.
Oh, so she's breathing on her own. Oh, dude, high five me. That's great. Okay.
And joining me now is 14-year-old Paige Roper, no stranger to the Telethon. This is your third time being here.
Yes.
And at the age of 10, you were diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer. Tell me about that.
Well, when I was 10 years old, I came down with what seemed like a nasty flu, and several days later, I ended up with one of my eyes turning inwards, so I was seeing double. And my doctor immediately sent us to BC Children's Hospital, where I was later diagnosed with brain tumor.
And you had radiation treatment, all sorts of treatments.
Yes, I've had 6 months of chemotherapy and 30 sessions of radiation to my brain and spine.
Let's talk about the type of care you received. I mean, you were telling me earlier that you really connected with the doctors and the nurses here.
Oh, the care was absolutely amazing. Everything that the doctors and nurses do is great. I couldn't have asked for better care.
And they made life a little easier going through such a tough time?
They did. They were always there for me whenever I needed them, and they did whatever they could to make me feel as comfortable as they possibly could.
Is there anything special that you remember from that time that made you feel just a little bit better?
Just being in there and seeing some of the smiling faces of the doctors when you're down, seeing some of the nurses, and having them play games with you always makes you feel better.
And you still come back. You're in remission now, right? Yes. And you come here, what, every few months?
Every 3 months or so.
Okay. Now, you are also very much involved in fundraising, I hear.
I am.
So why is it important for you to give back?
I feel it's important for me to give back as I've received so much, and I want to make it as good as possible as it can be for the kids who are in treatment right now fighting for their lives.
So what type of things do you do?
I speak and I sing and perform at fundraising events, and a couple years back I conducted a head shave at the Westminster Police Department.
Wow, how did that go?
It went amazing. We raised over $4,000.
Wonderful. So for people watching, what would you like to say to them? Why is it so important to give, if they're sort of contemplating?
I would just like to say please donate, because it's the donations that help to save my life, and it'll be their donations that will help to save other children's lives.
Okay, is there anything you want to add, a message out there for kids, parents?
Just please donate, and know that when times get tough, stay strong, because there will be an end to it quite soon, and it will be positive.
Wonderful. And I also hear that you want to be a broadcaster. We're hearing a few of those stories from many individuals today.
I do.
Well, good luck. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, back to you.
Michelle has had leukemia since she was 2. She's 4 now, and soon this brave little girl won't need chemotherapy anymore. It's a real miracle. When your child needs help, there is a Children's Miracle Network hospital nearby. Join the Air Canada Kids Horizons and support your Children's Miracle Network hospital. Hospitals helping local kids.
I'm here with some very special guests from Absolute Cheer Club from North End. Now, these girls are pretty incredible. They're in the top 3, or as I was just corrected, almost the top 2, nationally and internationally for cheer. So congratulations, girls. Now, just in chatting with them, 4 of these 7 girls have either been at BC's Children's Hospital or know someone who's been here. And one of those is Maddie, who's 7, and you've been here a fair bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now, what was it like for you? What were the folks like here to you?
They were really nice.
Really nice. Well, we like hearing about that. And you guys have a cheer that you're going to give us, right?
Yeah.
All right, I think Montana's going to count us out. So go ahead.